here we are again. It's games. This is Alpha Mission, kicking off October 1987. Published and developed by SNK. So, you know, can never go wrong with a nice in-house job. Sid times 3. That's how it starts, huh? So, guess we'll see if this game is worth anything or not. Like I said, I do typically tend to enjoy games of the shmup persuasion, despite not being really any good at them. But you don't need to enjoy something. I mean, I don't say you don't need to enjoy something to like it. That's not true. You don't need to be good at something to enjoy it. That's more what I was gonna hit you with there. So far, it's a little sluggy, you know, just a little. Oh, however, we did get a speed upgrade, which has helped matters greatly. As you may suspect, you know, speed upgrades do compensate for a bit of slowness. I know. Just dropping hot takes now. So what's going on in this game? You know, stuff's flying around, you're trying to destroy stuff, stuff's trying to destroy you. It's all very typical shmup fare. I'd like to get a super overpowered gun. Oh ho ho. Alright, so the slowdown is real. The slowdown is very much real. When you get too many of those sprites on screen, which, you know, it's not surprising. We actually gonna get a boss fight or something here? Oh yeah, look at whatever this thing is. Oh yeah, who doesn't love a boss fight with flickering bullets, which makes it just a little bit harder to see what's going on. Well, I don't know if I hit it once, to be quite honest with you. Fortunately, we do get to spawn right back at it, I think. Oh, no, we don't! This is the beginning of the level, I think. Which is probably for the best, you know. Probably needs some, yeah. Would've liked that speed upgrade on the other side, but I just didn't think. Ooh. It's fine, I'll just die anyway. Yeah, it'll take me a second to get my sea legs, you know. As one may expect. And who knows, maybe it's another example of I should read the manual. Although that said, I don't think that I'm really missing out on anything too important either. Like, there's not a lot that you can really fit in a game of this type, especially of this era, you know? I'm not sure if the backwards E is good for you or not. I don't know. Strikes me as the kind of game that would give you almost a decoy dummy power-up, where it's like, oh, you think it's good, but it's actually trash. Maybe I just have trust issues, you know? Playing enough of these NES games. It eventually wears on the soul. Makes you second-guess everything. There we go, there's a speed upgrade, though, which I did say that I wanted, so can't say the game never gives me anything. Even more speed. Yeah, you need the speed in this game. Some games I play and I feel like, wow, now I'm too fast. On R, that must be a reverse, right? Yeah, interesting. You may ask, why would you want to reverse? It's like, well, silly question. Because you want to die and you want to get a game over. Didn't take us even a full 4 minutes to get our first game over, but you know, I expect it. I expect a little bit of early failure. Should probably go for the S first, you know, gotta remember, if we can get the S first, then we can make it to the L, I believe. And the S is very much worth having. Speed is important. Yes! The backwards E does in fact take away the rest of your E. I don't know what E is or anything like that, so I don't know, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, but I can only imagine that the number going up is good and the number going down is bad, you know? It's game design 101 there. Oh, that was just kind of insulting. Yeah, you see, that's more like it. Now we can work on us and work on getting as many E's as we want. Or, you know, work on getting smashed by enemies. Kind of a dinky little game, you know? Not a bad game, just, you know, kind of dinky. What do I mean by dinky? You know, just kind of meandering, not particularly noteworthy. The kind of game that nobody ever talks about. And it's true, too. I don't know if I have ever heard Alpha Mission brought up in casual conversation in my life. It would help if I stopped getting blown to pieces by those things. That's admittedly my own fault. You're not gonna hear any excuses from me there. That's a new record right there, I think. 50 points before we died. It's got just that mildly infuriating feeling where, you know, you got enemies that come from behind, but you can't shoot from behind in any way, so you say, well, guess I'll die. Yeah, see, we're kind of learning that you want to be out of their potential path when they're rolling around doing whatever they are. Yeah, I don't even know what those things are. I don't know what you would define them as in terms of an enemy type. What you would call them, I suppose, is what some might say. Alright, either way, we got more E, we got more S. It's just, it's a game about numbers and learning how numbers work. Except those are letters, actually, so... What do I know? Very little. We do have double missiles now, so, you know, that's kind of exciting, I guess, maybe. Let's get a nice reverse. Now, I was going to tell you before, why would you want to reverse? Obviously, for the pointage. You reverse, puts you back in time, you can get more power-ups, get more points. It was a very distinct mechanic in the smash hit game DJ Hero. It was not a smash hit, I'm joking, but it was actually a pretty good game that I feel got done a little bit dirty by the general populace. But no, you would be able to swipe back on your turntable and it would send you back into a distant part of the song, and you'd just get all the points for it again. 2 Ks. Okay, well. Oh, we have triple missiles, so maybe that's helpful. Maybe it's not. Our E is not going up anymore, so it appears that going out of our way to collect more E is not going to be particularly beneficial. I think we're pretty well powered up, so let's see. Let's see what happens with the big boy here. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like all my shots are just kind of going right through him. I don't know if there's any truth to that, or if I'm just being paranoid. Oh my goodness. Those are the bullet patterns from hell that you just never want to see in your life. And the fact that you don't even get to continue by the boss fight is it's a little brutal. Can't lie. We do keep our oh, it's a backwards K. Oh no, we're very slow now. Gotta remember, backwards things are usually not good. Did that just like strip me of everything? I think the backwards K stripped me of everything. Okay, well, I did just take that brief moment to take a look at the manual, and I was missing something very, very crucial, actually, and I'm really glad that I stopped to check it, because I don't know if I would have realized that that was even a mechanic. So yes, reading the manual is very, very important, even for these games that seem like they're probably much, much simpler. The K means that you are fully powered up. Once the K shows up, means you're as big of a boy as you can be. There's nothing else for you in this world. The E, you want to get above 8, I believe, and then you're able to go to the weapon select screen. What does that mean? Well, we'll find out together, friends. Once we get there, you know. Ah! Or we'll just crash into another disc and die. That seems more similar to what we do. But anyway, when you pick up a K, it does mean that you do get to keep the upgrades that you had after you die, which is definitely helpful. And yes, I confirmed the backwards K is a full power downgrade, so that is the opposite of helpful. Now, check this out. By the power of the select button, we're gonna pick the Octo, I think. Oh, look at that. It's a whole new world. And just like that, this game is now brilliant. So, yeah, it turns out, I was the problem the whole time. Me not knowing the basic mechanics of the game resulted in a, more negative overall experience. It's definitely a cautionary tale. A tale that says, make sure you know what you're actually doing in the game. Ooh, that was real close. I don't really want to do the reverse, you know? I mean, I guess I could, but it doesn't feel like it's that necessary. Let's try the cannon. Oh yeah, that's kind of nice. I think we are actually. Yeah, okay. Look at that. That's the trick. Once you upgrade, you actually stand a chance. Amazing what happens when you know what's going on. Oh, that's right. C was bad. I even read that in the. Ooh, I read that in the manual. That C is not good. So I don't know why. I just picked that up willy-nilly. Perhaps an immense amount of hubris. Could be. What does the M mean? Don't remember. Doesn't matter. Oh, I'd love to get the question mark, but I'm a little too slow. Sorry. Oh. Okay, okay. I'd love to pick up a lot of energy just to see what kind of other wacky contrabulators we can do. Ooh, nuclear or nuclear sounds good, you know. I mean, you gotta try nuclear. Ah, I see. Marginally larger bombs. Okay, well, it's not as amazing as I would have thought, but we do get a pretty good area of effect bonus with those, so it's something, you know. Let's see now. Oh, no. It's not good enough, though. You really rely on your forward cannons to carry you to victory. What if we just, like, go all the way to 24? I guess I wouldn't know what the top tier upgrade is, you know? There'd be so many up there, I wouldn't even know which to choose. Alright, so now we do more of the same, but we try to not die. So far, so good. We're not dead yet. Okay, energy 18. Not quite. I'm not prepared. Maybe there's more, you know. Yeah, like what about energy 20? Nope, still nothing. It's all right. We'll see, you know. Part of me wants to believe that if you hit 24, there's got to be something just out of this world, right? No, there's not. We got Octocan. Maybe Nuke is gone because we died with it. Either way, let's try fire. My goodness, what is this? This is absolutely destructive in the most wonderful possible way. We have like no range, but it literally everything around us just is decimated. Like, you're absolutely unstoppable, unless, you know, something runs in you from the side, then, well, then you're not so unstoppable, but me oh my, what an upgrade. We destroy bullets that get hit in the fire? Oh, it's game over. It's the greatest thing I've ever witnessed in my life. It takes the shooting out of the shmup. Oh, but then you'll lose it after the level is done. I see. I see. What do you get from the question mark? Thunder? Paralyzer? Homing? Excuse me? What have we... What's thunder? I gotta know what thunder is, right? I see. I see! Okay, that does take up energy. I see, I see. So, okay. That's an important little bit to know there. Certain ships do not last forever because you're busy using up energy. We got the K, which means we will be holding on to whatever upgrades we had. You know me. I'm a guy who'll go back to fire. It's just so potent. I mean, can you believe it? And now our energy is rapidly going down. Yeah, because they don't want you to keep it forever. Makes sense, you know, that would not be a balanced game. There'd be nothing balanced about that. But maybe being unbalanced is being fun, you know? Oh, and then we finally died! But I'm at least kind of understanding, you know? Now you're learning, understanding. Oh no, the backwards K! But I have a feeling that, like, someone out there has decided that a backwards K is some kind of, like, racist imagery nowadays. I don't know. It just seems like the kind of bizarre little symbol that people would make part of a conspiracy or something. Yeah. Give me that. Sure, we'll try the paralyzer, I suppose. It's not that good, you know. It's just kind of a worse version of the fire, which means I'm just gonna jump straight to homing. It doesn't appear to actually home. It just kind of goes off in every direction wildly, which means I'm just gonna jump right back to fire, because let's be real, fire is the most fire upgrade in this game. Not to be completely how did the kids say, cringe with my analogies. Saying cringe is cringe, folks. That's the rules now. I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. Goodness. Well, yeah, the fire has definitely improved how I feel about this game. The entire upgrade mechanic, not even upgrade, it's more like a on-the-fly power-up system, you know? It's like, here's some crazy stuff for you to decide that you want. I don't even know how to explain it, man. All I know is we're going back in time. Right. We don't have enough to open the shop. Don't even try. Now that said, the cannon seems like just a really, like, serviceable upgrade. Yeah, like, these wide bullet shots like this, almost always helpful in a shmup. That said, it looked like one of them was dangerously close to just kind of avoiding me. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm pogged up. I'm pogged up out of my mind here because this game has turned out to be way better than I thought on first play. I didn't want to rewind again. I'm gonna be straight up with you. That was not the plan. It just kind of occurred. Okay, and we're back to being a small, powerless little boy. You know what? It's fine. I accept this fate. It was all worth it for just a small taste of true power. Don't get the backwards K, by the way. It's gonna bring you in a world of hurt. We found that out the hard way. Don't get that backwards K either. They're all equally bad. You know, and then we died, and it's a game over. Kept getting the rewind, which is why I never really made it to the next stage, but hey. This all makes it more fun. Knowing how to play games makes them more fun. Wow. Very good. Not very good, but, you know, I'm alive, so... I'm not alive! It was a lie. Being alive, that was all just a, it was all a facade, a big farce, as it were. How many levels are in this game? I don't know, I've only made it to like 3. Don't worry, I'm not doing like a, oh, wow, I've beat so many levels and I haven't beat the game yet? Oh, no, no, no. Not even remotely what I'm trying to get at. Just more of a passive if I were to buy this cartridge. Just how much would I have to do to beat it? 'Cause I don't know, it's seeming like a pretty decent game to own. Of course, my problem is I don't own every console known to man. I'm missing a few important ones. Like, I don't have a Saturn. I don't have a 3DO because I'm not rich. No, it's the Neo Geos that you gotta be rich for. Well, Saturns too, let's be real. Although I've kind of come to the conclusion that if I were to start collecting for the Sega Saturn, I'd probably just get imports. Because, honestly, it's not worth paying that much more just to understand the words in the game. You might say, what about a game like Panzer Dragoon Saga, one of those coveted games on the system? I'd say, yeah, dude, that game is like $1,400 on the low end. You think I'm buying that? Not a chance. But, and then you say, well, I guess you're not going to play it then unless you emulate it. I'm like, yeah, and you know, even though I'm using an emulator right now, I tend to prefer to play all my games on the original hardware. But I came to an incredible conclusion the other day. Or at least a great hypothesis, which could potentially become a great conclusion. Google Lens. Hear me out there. If you ever use Google Lens, you know that it... Well, you might not even know this because you might not have looked through all the settings and options, but it can live translate text in front of your eyes. It just, like, draws new text over it, and it's an amazing little feature, and I thought... Would that be possible to play a slower paced Japanese video game? I mean, I'm not saying that it's the end all be all solution, but it got me thinking, you know? If you don't want to translate, well, because you can't translate, or you don't want to learn Japanese and you don't want to spend $1,400 to play Panzer Dragoon Saga, it wouldn't be elegant. It would be a little janky because you have to hold your phone up constantly, but you could get at least partial translation just by staring at the screen through your Google Lens. And at this point now I'm like, well, now I have to get a Saturn just to see if this is actually viable, because if that actually works, then holy cow, that's a game changer. And if it doesn't work, oh well. Guess how much that game is in Japan? It's like $34. So, yeah. Who's really going to get hurt by that? You, the consumer, are certainly going to win out. Even if you spend $34 on a game that you wind up not being able to translate, well, hey, you know what? Better than paying $1,400. I almost said paying 1,400 games, and that wouldn't have made a lick of sense. Don't want the backwards K. We know this for a fact. No, no. Okay, so I knew that I had seen a backwards K somewhere before, and I was like, it's not some like weird anti-Semitic symbol, is it? And no, no, no. Where I know a backwards K from is definitely not the same thing. It's a baseball. Yeah, a backwards K. That's the symbol for a strikeout, I believe, or a strike in general. I don't remember exactly how it shows up. God, I gotta stop hitting that rewind block because I want to get past this level someday. Oh well. Don't get too upset about it, you know? Few things are worth actually being upset about. I'm upset about everything anyway, but you know. No! It's okay. We had a K, so yeah. We do at least get to keep our upgrades. Problem is, I'm back to pretty much square zero in terms of. Oh my god. And well, any positivity I was gonna have is gone, by the way. But tough game. I completely lost my train of thought there. You know. It's when it rains it pours, but that's the story of any shmup that you'll play, really. It's not unique to Alpha Mission. Oh, what's that? You lost all your power-ups? That's a shame. May as well just give up now. Couldn't even get that. I believe that was a laser beam power-up. I mean, come on, what else is L gonna stand for? Alpha? Sincerely doubt that. Okay, so getting the cannon while we can. The cannon is in fact canon. Yeah, get it? Because they spelt it wrong? Oh, very funny, very clever. I saw some dude online made a reference to Moore's Law. And then everybody was like, that doesn't make any sense. This is gibberish. What are you talking about? And then someone else was like, hey, sorry, man. You know, didn't quite pan out. I guess it was a little too highbrow for this group. And people were like, highbrow? It's not highbrow. It's Big Bang Theory tier comedy. It's like, he just said something technical. It's like, well, yeah, but the fact that literally nobody even knows what it meant apparently proves that for this particular group of people, yes, it was slightly too highbrow. Come on, get me. Oh no, the worst possible time to power down. We really needed that cannon level. This guy... Oh, we actually got him. Okay. Never mind. We're fine. Don't get the C. It's bad for you. Bad for your soul, bad for your pride, bad for just about everything. However, I'm gonna talk about what's good. Oh yeah. It's the fire. We can pick up a regular K, just don't pick up a backwards K. You know, we don't want to strike out here. See, and now that I've associated with strikeout, I'm just gonna make that painfully obvious sports reference every chance I can get. I'll say, "How do you do, fellow jocks?" I myself am a bit of a sports fan as well. Am I actually a sports fan? No, not particularly. I like the Browns. You know, I'll watch a Browns game every so often. I don't know if I'll catch every single game of the season, but, you know, sometimes I'll be down to say, let's see how they're going to do here. Am I excited that we've got a new coach? Absolutely. I'm excited that it's a former offensive coordinator for a team that had a admittedly pretty good offense. Oh, of course. Am I happy that it takes one of the Vikings' weapons away? Naturally. Okay, what do we got here? What do we got for a boss? We won't be able to power up for it, so we're in kind of the worst possible situation that we could be in here. Ooh, look at him. Well, there's your answer. He just, you know, just kind of disintegrated me immediately. And I don't even get the question mark again. Rough. So, maybe I should try to save my fire until kind of towards the end of the stage then. See if that's a little healthier. Because if we can attack that guy with fire, you know, fight fire with fire, then perhaps we'll stand a bigger shot. Not bad dodging, if I do say so myself. You know, that turned out being okay. I know, I'm very, very impressed with my own alpha mission gameplay, even though I can't make it to level 3. Especially not if that happens. That may have been a good time to pop the fire, regardless of how I was feeling. Not the backwards K. Not the C. The F is fine, you know. The F ain't gonna hurt you. It can only help you. It's the kind of reliable friend you've got that you're for some reason wary of, but in the end you know that they mean nothing but well. Everybody's known somebody like that, right? The kind of person where you're like, you know that they're a real nice person, and yet for some reason you just can't quite bring yourself to completely trust them. I don't know what it is that invokes or evokes, I guess, that kind of well, gee dang it. What it is that brings out that very specific aura in a person. I may never know. But it's okay. Remember, S first, then L. You decided way too slowly, you wound up missing out on the L, so congratulations. You take an L without actually taking an L. Oh. What else is going on gaming-wise? Well, I actually beat 2 games last night. I did finish the Halo 2 campaign, you know, first playthrough of that. Breaking Benjamin will bless you till your dying day. It's a good campaign. I would argue probably better than the Halo 1 campaign. Because while Halo 1 was a game changer, no denying that, it also had a couple levels that just kind of went on and on and on and on and on. And there was also just the kind of like reusing levels. What do I mean by that? Look at 2 Betrayals. It's literally just Assault on the Control Room, but backwards. It's, you know, a little lazy. I don't... shoot, didn't want to grab that. I don't want to use the term lazy, because that makes it sound like, you know, they weren't putting any effort into the game, when they clearly were, obviously. The franchise would not have endured as it has now if they did not put a lot of effort into it. And you could argue, oh, well, look at franchises like Call of Duty, there's no effort in there, and I'd be like, I would say I actually disagree. I actually disagree a great amount. If you sincerely sit down with the Call of Duty game and play it and think, wow, it sucks, they didn't even try, I'd say, did we play the same game? It may not be, you know, high art, but the notion that it was created by a team that didn't try is ridiculous. Call of Duty are very functional games. They run the way that they're intended to. You can't say that for every game, honestly. Oh, look at this. We can just go straight into Fire World here, which we shall, just to make this dude a joke. Come on, boss. Big boss man. Thank you. Here we go. ABC, easiest 1, 2, 3. So, yeah, let's avoid the sea. Let's top off our energy. Which actually, in a weird way, might even put us in a worse spot. We might be, like, so topped off on energy that by the time we need it again, we're going to wear out, and then we'll have already gotten all the energy that there is to get in the level, and then it'll be boss time, and then I'll say, what have I done? There's such a thing as being a little too greedy. We learned that a long time with the torture room. God bless you, Mighty Bomb Jack. Anyway, I did say I beat 2 games. I also beat Assassin's Creed Liberation on my PS Vita. Not a good game. I'm just gonna say it straight up. Like, I was expecting something kind of like Assassin's Creed Bloodlines, but a little bit higher fidelity, because, you know, the PS Vita is obviously a more powerful thing than the PSP. And for the most part, it was that. But I almost feel like Bloodlines was better because it, I don't know, it didn't bite off more than it could chew. Oh, please. Let's just spawn the boss before I instantly run out of fire. I'm gonna run out, aren't I? Yep, I ran out. What even hit me? What even hit me? I figured something like that was gonna happen. You know, like, we would have maintained our fire for far too long, and then it's like, oh, well, sorry. Yeah, that's how the conversation went in my head. Oh, no, I used you too long. Oh, yeah, sorry. But no, yeah, the biggest issue with Assassin's Creed Liberation... sorry, Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. It's a subtitled game, you know. It has a lot of the same problems that Assassin's Creed 3 had, actually, to where, sure, there's stuff to do, and there is literally no reason to do any of it. Like, yeah, you can go around and renovate shops, and there's an entire robust trading minigame, and you can shake people down for special items and stuff. And what do you get for it? Basically nothing. Like, yeah, sure, you can buy a new weapon, but to be honest, all you need is the base sword and the whip, which you get automatically throughout the story anyway, and then the entire rest of the game is, well, pretty much completely inconsequential. Like, there's nothing difficult about it. I don't know, it's just, it's a game that really gives you no reason to do anything, and boy is it buggy. Ran into a point where I literally tried to get out of the water and wound up... There we go. Well, that beat him. I tried to get out of the water and I wound up instead swimming through the air, which I've seen in other games before. It seems to be, you know, kind of a common bug. Whoa! What's the upside down M? Or I guess a W. It's like, hey, just how about you skip half the game, man? Anyway, there's stuff like that. There were... Oh, shoot. That was really bad. I don't know what the difference between a C and a backwards K is, but they feel functionally rather identical. Oh, there we go. There we go. The question mark, though. That saves your life. No, and then you die. I should have just went to fire immediately. I thought I wanted to preserve it or save it. Wasn't worth it. But no, I'd run into bugs where it's like, now your entire map that you've spent all game uncovering is covered again. And I don't know if that's like an actual thing that they wanted to happen, but I can't imagine why they would, because it was not explained. There was no purpose for it in like any way. It's like, it's not like you forgot what this place is like. You kind of grew up here, you know, and you haven't been gone for that long. I don't know. It's the kind of thing where I couldn't even decide if it was a bug or not. It was just so odd. And there were times when, you know, I'd try to do the final, like, objective in a mission, and I would have to redo it, like, 3 times, because it would just keep loading me right back to where I was. I don't know. Very busted open game. I get it. I'm not doing well. It's alright. So, Yeah, that one was a little bit of a bummer. I didn't expect it to be great, honestly, but I did expect it to be a little better than it was. So that'll always, you know, sting just a little bit. I definitely did not 100% it because, again, the game gives you no reason to. Like, it wasn't particularly fun to play, so I didn't want to, you know, do it for the sake of doing it for the fun. Some games, you can get away with that, you know, like Breath of the Wild. Sure, you can max out on Korok leaves, but it's still fun to find more Korok leaves. The adventuring is just that well done. Even though there's no actual, you know, real reason to keep doing it. The sake of doing it enough is its own net reward, you know, just for being fun, but no such luck in Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. That's my video review of it with no actual video footage from the game. Hope you liked it. Things are getting slightly cute now. It's alright, we'll definitely have our fire on board. That's what you really want, you know. It's more about saving up enough energy and not dying, so by the time... I just wasn't paying any attention there at all. It's about saving up your energy throughout the course of the level and not dying for just long enough to where you have a nice spicy upgrade in time for the boss. Because otherwise, if you're using those upgrades during the level proper, I've already run into the issue where then you're like, wow, congratulations, now you're all unpowered up by the time the boss spawns, and now you can't do anything. That's just, you know, that's just a wee bit embarrassing right there. So what have I done to fill the void of Halo 2 and I guess Liberation, if you want to call that a void? Gosh. I picked up where I left off in Ratchet and Clank. I played the first Ratchet and Clank game like a year or two ago. And now I'm finally playing the sequel, Going Commando, which I've owned for a long time. I actually own all 4 of the PS4 games. I just never played any of them beyond 1 for some reason, so yeah, I started that one. It's a small upgrade over the first one in terms of controls, but still not quite at that wonderful, like, ooh, plays like a third-person shooter style that I think it didn't really do until Ratchet Deadlocked, if I'm remembering correctly. I know I said I haven't played them, but I played demos of like all of them, you know, I had a bunch of demo discs laying around as a kid. I've played tiny bits of a bunch of different PS2 games. Because demo discs are cheap entertainment. Pick up a copy of PlayStation Magazine that you know's got a demo disc in it, and boy, you're golden. Yeah, being in a not particularly affluent household, we definitely did rely on demos a lot, just for a little bit of cheap fun. And boy, because we didn't get a whole lot of like fully new games, we squeezed every little bit of fun that we could out of those demos too. I remember, especially for the PC where you could just download demos outright. We had a Jedi Outcast demo, and boy, I couldn't tell you how much time me and my brother put into that demo, because most of the console commands that were in the full game were still there, so you could like spawn enemies and stuff. We'd run around. Sorry, like my brother especially, he was really into this. He'd like spawn enemies throughout the map and basically, you know, like mod the game without modding it, if that makes sense. Just like throw a bunch of bad guys in using the console commands and then be like, yeah, brand new game, check it out. Of course, it wasn't a brand new game. I'm going to try to not pick up an excess of energy right now, because I do actually want to wear my fire down. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Why do I do that? Well, so that we don't run into the issue that we ran into last time, where we get to the boss and then we don't have enough steam to get our fire up and running. Obviously, I told you the plan. Pay attention, man. And we died. I've also passively been playing some Crusader Kings 3. You know, that came out this week. I always wanted to get into Crusader Kings 2, but always felt like it was just a little too big brain for me. Like, I just couldn't quite grasp it. I made several attempts, watched tutorial series on YouTube, so read the tutorials in the game, and I don't know, it just never clicked. Crusader Kings 3, that's clicking a little more. I'm understanding it on a more fundamental level. Of course, that all changed once my first succession happened, once my good king died, and then it was like, oh, okay, now you're there, and I'm like, yo, where'd my army go? It's the same country, right? What's up? But I'll figure all that out. Point is, the fact that I was able to completely reunite Ireland, something that I never would have done in Crusader Kings 2 out of my own ignorance, that felt pretty good, you know? Even got a friend to try it out who I wouldn't think would have ever been into that kind of game, so, you know? I'd say they knocked it out of the park. Some people say, oh, Crusader Kings, that's the game with all the DLC. And I'd be like, yeah, it is, but doesn't mean it's bad. Especially since Crusader Kings, you know, I almost don't want to say that it gets DLC. I'd rather call them expansion packs, you know. No one balked at the concept of an expansion pack back in the day. The Elder Scrolls Oblivion, Shivering Isles, that wasn't DLC. That was an expansion pack, and boy, was it good. I'm not good. I keep dying. But I think if there's anything bigger like that, like people call like The Witcher Blood and Wine DLC, I'm like, I don't know. I think that does it a disservice. Even though that is technically exactly what it is. DLC carries so much baggage with it as a term. It's got such a stigma against it, but that doesn't mean it's all bad. They were like, it's an unfinished game. I'm like, yo, was Age of Empires 2 an unfinished game? No, it was a perfectly complete game. The Conquerors just happened to complete it even more. Was StarCraft an incomplete game? Of course not. But Brood War just made it all the better. Of course, if you go and play it without the expansion packs now, yeah, sure, then you might say that it's incomplete. But when it first came out, it sure wasn't. Feel this... What a terrible run. Feel the exact same way about Crusader Kings 3. Yeah, there's probably going to be 1 billion pieces of DLC for it. Some stupid little, like, graphics packs and stuff that doesn't matter, but also a lot of really big, chunky bits that are going to add a lot to the game. But, that said, it still feels... I'm apparently checked out on this game, but it still feels very much like a finished game, so I can't fault it too much, you know? As a matter of fact, knowing that there's gonna be more added to the game later, because that's just how Paradox is, almost gets me kind of more excited about the fact that I'm playing it at launch. Because, you know, when I tried getting into Crusader Kings 2, there were already like 8 expansion packs or something like that released for it, and it's just such an information overload. It's the kind of thing where you're like, where do I start? Like, how do you play this game? You're telling me about all these different things. I don't even know how to, you know, raise an army yet. So, starting the game kind of on equal terms with everybody else. You know, like, I can go to the Crusader Kings subreddit, and guess what? Everybody's asking, hey, where do I see my stress? I don't know. And because some of us are just bigger brain than others, someone always has an answer. It's great. It's like I'm really part of the community. Of course, the one issue with Crusader Kings is it is one of those kind of like endless games that you can just kind of play ad nauseum forever, and I do try to avoid those, but when I'm like in between things, or you know, like try to get something else done, I'll just kind of be passively playing that at the same time. And and it works well, you know? It's a nice little symbiotic relationship. So I almost gotta, like, budget that game in, because, you know, I definitely want to play it. Don't want to rob myself of the opportunity. No, come on. I keep, like, pressing select too quickly. There we go. Fire. Now we're in business. I think he actually goes down quicker with the cannon, but this is safer. Undoubtedly. Don't want the question mark. It'll bring me too much power in this world. And as I've learned from graduating from the petty king of Ireland to the high king of Ireland, too much power can be a downside. I really felt like I should have been dead right there. Same with right there, honestly. Like, I'm surviving things that I shouldn't be surviving. Okay. Swear I would have picked up something bad there. Very possible. A single energy pickup is never bad, though. I mean, prove me wrong, I guess. Maybe this could be a scenario where you don't want it, but I sincerely doubt that. Alright, now we make this boss absolutely trivial. That's what you want to do. You want to trivialize the bosses. You can scrape your way through the normal levels as a wee babby ship with no power, but you don't want to try to scrape your way through the boss fights. It's always going to end badly. Made it to level 3 again, so that's something. Yeah, give me that backwards K. Just kidding. Don't, please. I'm not sure what those little ships are, admittedly. I mean, I keep collecting them, because why wouldn't you? If you can collect it and it's not going to kill you, then yeah, you're going to collect it. At least I will. Yes, that's wonderful. So now I just have to survive. I have to not perish. What did I do? I game overed immediately after saying I shouldn't die. It's life. You gotta wonder how the original arcade version of this would be. Do I know for a fact it's an arcade game? Well, no, but the fact that it's an SNK game and it's on the NES gives you pretty good suggestion that that's probably what we're looking at. I think I may have just picked up that energy downgrade, but I don't think it's going to matter too much in the long run. We're not going to have much of a longer run. We're almost done with this episode, if you can believe it. Please, don't let me die. I feel like I should have more energy than I do, but, you know, as long as I have enough to get my fire upgrade and maintain the fire upgrade for long enough to kill something, well, that's good enough for me. And by something, I of course mean the boss. Yes, that was a frontwards K. We would have been fine picking it up. Don't worry so much. My wife is making a chocolate cake for no reason. There is literally no cause for celebration, but isn't that the best time to have a cake is when you don't even need it? I have a birthday coming up. Maybe I can squeeze a second cake out of her, you know? because that's really what I need, is more cake as I continue to bloat during this pseudo-lockdown that people are apparently so livid about. I know, I should stop saying controversial things on this channel, but I think everybody who's all screaming about the I may have even said this before in a different video, so forgive me if I have, but everybody who's screaming about, you know, the coronavirus lockdown, I've seen some people call it draconic or call it like just like a complete spit in the face of freedom. I'm like, bro, we're not even locked down. Have you seen how much stuff is still open? Like, you can go to a restaurant right now and like order a cheeseburger. They'll just like put you outside and say, here, eat with the dogs. But you know what? That's that ain't no lockdown. And I know, it's different in some states. There are some states where there's still nothing open and whatnot, but you know, I'm not going anywhere anyway. That's just me, but partially because I don't like going anywhere really, so it's easy to sit in my, you know, high chair. My high chair, make myself sound like a baby. It's easy enough to sit on my high horse and say, ha, it's not so bad, I don't mind it. And it's like, oh, well, congratulations there, Mr. Opinion. You yourself are one of few people who's not bothered by this. I say, well, you know, I guess you're right. And look at that. Just a vicious game over yet again. Maybe there are better strats than what I'm doing. Maybe there's better strats than the scrape to survive and then go all out at the end. I don't know. Maybe you want to leverage your stuff like your octo shot or your cannon a little bit earlier. Get just ahead enough while making sure that you've got some energy to play with later. Could be. Could very well be. But far be it from me to claim to be an expert on Alpha Mission or any shmup for that matter. But again, you know, it's one of those genres where even when the game is just kind of average, it's still usually fun. Unless you really, really hate the style of gameplay, well then, I guess it's a terrible conclusion to draw, isn't it? Okay. You know, just want to survive. Just want to survive. Not like it matters. Video's ending soon. You can die as much as you want now. Don't worry. Everyone's gone home. The viewer retention stats say no one's going to hear you say this sentence anyway. But you know what? I say it anyway. And I say it for you. I wish I could just, like, align my ship with this to make it look like a super ship. But you can't quite get in there properly. Whatever. Yes! That's the point I'm at with this game now. However, regardless of how it is, and how I feel of it, it's by default the best game of October already. Ha! Get it? Because I haven't played any others. Yeah. Very clever joke. You're gonna make the whole world laugh with that one, man. I did indeed start a joke, which started the whole world laughing. Classic Bee Gees track there. Don't act like you didn't know. That's right, they have things besides Staying Alive and their other disco hits. They had a rather illustrious career prior to the disco era, believe it or not. What a tragic death. Just a terrible accident that has befallen us this day. And, well, you know, It's like they say. That's time. That's Alpha Mission. Or at least, it's an hour of Alpha Mission. An hour of Alpha Mission played by an utter amateur who's never played Alpha Mission before. Not an awful game, you know, standard shmup material, as I have already said. It's not going to offend anyone, it's not going to excite anyone. It's just a straight shooter, as you might say. So what do we get tomorrow, then, you may ask? How do we go up? After all, I said October was kind of a banger of a month. Tomorrow we get Lunar Pool. You may say, come on, man, how is that exciting? I'd say, oh. You just wait. Turns out it's actually the most lit pool game this side of Pool Nation 2. I think that's what that game is called. Anyway, join me tomorrow for Lunar Pool. You might just be kind of surprised with what you see. It's bound to be a poolin' good time. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day.